live, baby.
Cool, great. It's it's good. It's good to see you, even though it's kind of like a fake introduction because we've been talking for a while.
Yeah,
But
see, it's good to see on air.
I walk on air.
Ooh. Oh, air layer.
Yeah, but no sneakers though. It'd have to be like flip flops or something.
Okay. Aerodynamic. That's what's up, man. So I saw you earlier on your bike. How was your ride today? I'm not gonna say how was your week. How was your ride?
Pretty good. And I spent some other time we can get into, because calling my blog Mind in the Motorcycle, the whole idea of riding a motorcycle and all that is just people have been writing about it, trying to explain it, and they can't because you can't.
Adjust my mic real quick.
Oh,
Amateurs.
yeah, I know.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, really?
There we go.
Oh, you okay now?
That'll work. Sorry, guys, if that made you feels a little fuzzy. We got high quality instruments here, thanks to Mr. Feinstein.
Oh yeah, that's right. I bought them. Anyhow, the ride was really good, and quite honestly, I was even thinking about it that I always on my ride now, because we record on Sunday, I'm always thinking about the show.
Aww.
No, I didn't say I'm thinking about you.
I am the show, Larry. No, we are the show.
But I do. I really. But being on a bike is you really have kind of uninterrupted mind time.
I bet you're thinking about all types of things.
Well, you can. Your mind
Safety
can go,
first.
Yeah. No, that's true. But your mind is you're really free. It's a really a wonderful feeling. But anyhow, but I do find myself always thinking about what we're going to be doing in the afternoon, which is great. It's not a complaint.
Okay.
So I mean, I know what I want to talk about.
Well, speaking of that, for the show, if this is your first time tapping in with F&F or Foster and Feinstein, make sure you like, subscribe, and you share this with as many people as you can. It'll help us get our ratings up. It'll help us get to the algorithms top of the search bar in YouTube. And we're going to be doing this thing for a while, so we definitely appreciate you guys' support. With that being said, we can get back to our conversation.
I don't think I should do the yo every time. I think every now and then I should do the yo. But I think because the yo started with yo.
Yo.
So you should yo.
All right, let's get to it. Yo, what's up, man? It's your boy Foster
Feinstein.
We back at it with another week of fine entertainment and conversation across the wood plank table. This came from a tree that.
I happen to know where it came from.
Okay, what was that?
This is from. Oh, great.
Oh, here you go.
No. I know where. I'm just trying to think of the name of the evergreen of the species of tree, but it was over on the south side, and when I come up with the name of the tree, I'll mention it.
Okay.
But I was around for the tree to be taken down.
Wow.
And these
you got a lot of slabs. I know a lot of other places that have pieces.
These trees were 120 feet high.
Wow.
And the slabs were absolutely incredible, and they finished beautifully. And they are the kind of the table motif.
I don't know what the hell a motif is.
What would that be like?
Give me an example.
It would be kind of the theme, the theme of the tabletops.
Okay. Okay. It adds the character to the place.
Because we're doing it live, and because my brain has shrunken.
Mm-hmm. You lost a little water, remember?
Yeah, no, I know.
Dehydrating a little bit.
God damn, I can't think of the name of the tree.
Okay. Well, whatever the name is, it'll come to you.
Yeah, it'll come. Yeah,
it is Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all you watchers out there that are mothers. We appreciate your ultimate sacrifice of bringing life into this world. None of us would be here without our mothers, right?
Yeah, I don't think they would, nor do I. At the risk of correcting you, God forbid.
Calling it a sacrifice.
Yeah.
Well,
You knew that.
Yeah, I knew you. I consider it a sacrifice because of the change that that their bodies go through and the chemical imbalances that happens. And I mean, for the most part, most women not willingly, but go into the act of having a baby intentionally. And so it is a sacrifice because you know what you're getting into for the most part.
No, you don't.
You don't?
No. Oh, by the way, and I want to get back to it. Norfolk Pine.
Norfolk Pine. There you go.
Oh God,
See?
I feel so much. No, I do.
He
I
jogged
feel,
his memory.
I feel so much better. But no, but back to the moms. I don't know, man. It's been going on for for millennia, and it's really and it's funny how each mother doesn't really tell their daughter how difficult birth can
That's true.
be.
That's true. They always tell them, just wait till you have one. That's all they say.
Yeah,
Just wait till you have
it's
one.
beautiful. Yes, in many ways,
Oh,
it
it's
is.
definitely beautiful.
But if you have ever spent any time at all around, like in a hospital where mothers are giving birth,
It sounds like a horror
there are
film.
some wicked sounds.
Yeah, it sounds like a horror film.
It's like it hurts a lot,
100%.
and I think amongst other things, one of the many things that makes their gender so much more superior than ours is they have an incredible ability to endure pain.
100%.
They really do.
Shout out to all the moms
Oh,
out there. Let's give you a
That's-
clap for that. Mama. Ooh.
Oh, Queen.
Queen. Yeah, that's Queen. Yeah.
Huh?
That's the guy with the teeth.
He had extra teeth in his
Yeah,
mouth.
extra teeth in his mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would never. I
Freddie
love
Mercury.
Freddie
Yeah.
Mercury. I love singing.
Yeah.
When I do the earbuds and I'm on my bike. But one of the voices, I would never ever try and sing like anything Freddie Mercury did because
Yeah. He had a large range.
yeah, that was a voice from heaven.
Yeah.
But anyhow, so
So then, how about this? Let's since it's Mother's Day, let's talk about the subject of mothers somehow and encompass our show around the importance of motherhood or how the experience you had with your mother.
well,
good or bad.
certainly our memories,
Our memories.
of our mothers, and needless to say, on the motorcycle, I was thinking about it, and actually, when we did the podcast
Okay.
a couple of days ago, I always end the podcast with a poem. And I read a poem by a lady by the name of Sharon Olds. I kind of forgot the name, but it was relating to her mother. And then I said a couple of things about my mother and her passing, which then ended up staying with me really for the week. It ended up being what I wrote about.
Okay.
So I'm into it, and I thought that because of our age difference, okay, that it would be really good that you should go because we're really dealing, with you. We're dealing with your mom who's here. Do you know what I mean?
Yep,
It's
she's watching for sure.
Yeah,
she's usually the first watch every time. Shout out, Mom.
And I would say, my mother is not here, but she is watching. But I thought, man, you should go first, and it's not because I'm going to back cleanup or anything like that.
Okay.
It's just a different tense.
Okay.
You use the contemporary sense, and I can use so it's like before and after.
Okay.
What the fuck? You were just yawning.
I know. How is that?
I hope this is not keeping you up or anything, is it?
Let me see. No.
No.
All right.
So anyway, I really am interested to hear about you and your mom because I've heard you talk before. And
Right. Okay.
so-
Well, let me start by saying this. My mom is great. She's awesome. She's angelic, and I love you so much. I appreciate you for popping me out your front, but that's all I got. No. Let me see. All right. So my mom is special. Let me say, but most people are going to say that anyway, right?
I don't care.
But So in my experience, in my first memory of my mom, I just remember her being like such a soft-hearted human. She was really like soft-spoken and funny and real. She didn't like to hide things from us. She was a realist, like to the dangers in the world, to the experiences of like spirituality. She didn't necessarily force us to go to certain churches or believe in certain things. She let us explore, and she would also take us to different places to see different things.
Like what? What do you mean?
So it's like as far as like when I say, so they say religion on the basis of religion. Her mother is from Mississippi, and she was a devout Jehovah's Witness. And my mom is probably one of the only ones in her family on that side of the family, and her brothers and sisters that wasn't necessarily practicing Jehovah's Witness, but she went to church. She went to a multitude of different churches just to test it out, see what they were like,
Right.
Contemporary styles and Mediterranean. I don't know. I'm fucking the word up, but
Norfolk Pine.
yeah, there you go. But she would take us to these places and like those experiences, and she would ask us like, "Did you like that? What did you feel about how did that church make you feel? How did this pastor, and this and that?" And she let us pretty much develop into our own sense of like timing of when we were ready. She was never like forced upon us. I got like, because certain parts of my family on the other side, on my dad's side, like they're devout Christians, so Baptists, Southern Baptists particularly. The question is always, when are you going to get baptized? When are you going to get baptized? When are you going to get baptized? It's almost like you have to have a date picked out when you're going to choose to give your life to God. And for my mom, on my mom's side, she didn't really follow suit with that. She literally gave us the option to create our own timing in which we wanted to do things like that. And the person that she remarried, which I think was about 11 years old, 12 years old, was a Catholic. And so we ended up trying that out and going to like Mass and Catholic schools. And
You did? No, you did not.
yeah, I got expelled from Catholic school.
I'm shocked.
It was a culture shock for sure.
So you went to like public school, but but Catholic school.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Well, like what grades?
Third and fourth, and I got expelled in fourth grade.
What'd you do?
There was a lady named Sister Epac. She was like fat. I shouldn't say fat.
No, don't.
Heavy set, old lady, hair like yours, but she used to like always have this. When people talk, they get the white cream on.
Oh
and
no.
Comes in these little pieces come out because she loves eating tuna sandwiches, and she was a mean old lady. She was
Like a rabbit. She was a rabid nun.
Rabid nun. And she used to like watch Dirty Harry movies, like
Get out.
Clint Eastwood. I remember she had the VHSs all in the back. And I'm like, you're a nun, but you're watching Dirty Harry? Like, okay, something ain't adding up. But I did something, I got in trouble, and I got in trouble too many times, so the punishment was going to be ruler to the hand. Like, they were going to whoop me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, the hell you ain't. This is fourth grade, mind you. I'm telling this nun, if you whoop me, I'm pretty much going to beat your ass. And it's like, what I'm going to do?
Were you a big kid?
No, I probably was like not even 100 pounds, soaking wet, like 5'6" or something like that.
Huh?
Yeah, but she was a little like penguin old lady. She wasn't like
like a penguin with hemorrhoids.
she was not a happy lady.
Uh-huh.
But that was the last straw because I did a bunch of different things like fighting and doing all type of stuff in the school, and then they were like, yeah, he can't be here. He's like the devil spawn himself. And went back to the public school that I started at and finished, graduated there, but it was a good experience. It was like I got to experience that culture, met some friends in that culture that I still know to this day. But my mom, if it wasn't for my mom's openness, that probably would have never been a possibility. And I respect her for this. Fly, how do you get a fly in here? I respect her for that because a lot of people are set in their ways, right? They're steadfast on how things are going to be. They have like traditions, and it's just like, my mom was not that. And right now, today, she's a spiritual healer. She does like Reiki. She makes candles and essential oils, all handmade and organic. And she's the love of my life. And I know you're watching this and you're probably smiling from ear to ear, but you made me who I am, and you put the light in my heart, and you gave me the strength to explore and not be afraid.
What was like not throughout your growing up, but what was the house like? And with her, I assume she anchored the house more so than your stepdad.
Yeah, 100%. So right when my dad and my mom divorced or split up, it was a few years where it was just her, and yeah, she was literally the anchor, the rock of everything. She worked a lot, like pretty much 40 plus hours a week. I don't know, but it was like an hour train commute each way. So you think about 8-hour day, it's 10 hours she's gone. So I'm pretty much at school, and then when I come home, gotta make my sister something to eat, wait till my mom gets home, and at that point, that's when her fierceness of not taking no shit came, and the point of she gets home, she's tired, she's not gonna take any lip from us. So I understand now as an adult those times in which she needed to act ferocious or angrily at us for not paying attention or not listening was warranted because of the fact of how much hard work she did to keep up the house and like pay the bills and raise 2 kids. And so yeah, she was definitely. And then my stepfather was way more of he's like a real calm and collective type of dude, and I was like the opposite, super high energy, like my dad is super, hey, the funny guy, like my dad is high energy, and my stepfather is like real low energy and like real stern and just.
Are they both still around?
Yep.
How's that? The dynamic, which has nothing to do with moms, but the
mom and dad.
Between the two for you between the two dads.
I don't think they ever really. I mean, they know each other, but I don't think they've ever spent it.
No, not them, but you.
I love them. I'm so appreciative of both of them because they both gave me different perspectives of life. Right. My dad gave me the fun and like go have a great time and meet people and like be funny and be yourself, dress well, present yourself well to the like business mindset. Like he's an entrepreneur mindset, like hustle mindset. Then my stepfather gave me the grounding of like this is what it takes to be a man. You say what you're gonna do. You work hard. You have a routine. It's structure. Like play basketball every day at this time. Go to work at this time. This is what I wear these shoes only for this. I cut the grass on these days. It was like it was a structure from my stepfather. My dad was just like. My dad, he got things done in the moment that he thought about it. Like his thoughts drove his actions.
So they were quite opposite.
Yeah, quite opposite.
Right?
Yeah.
And you're kind of modulating between the two.
Yeah.
That was
modulating. There you go. Yeah, 100%. Yep. I mean, I can go all day, but that's pretty much the foundation of what it means to me for my mom and then for my parents in a sense because it's a blessing. And at the time I thought it was like a hindrance to have parents that split up and then remarried because then at that time I got 2 moms and then 2 dads as well, and I thought that would be like weird because most other kids really didn't have that or they had one parent and so. But now I look at it as a blessing because you think about it takes a village, right, to raise a child and to have 4 parents is a blessing in itself to be able to have that type of support around you. Even if you're a kid and don't
Can
like
be.
It. Can be. It could be the opposite too.
Whew.
Yeah.
But in your case, it really gelled.
Yeah.
It gelled really well.
It gelled really
right?
Well.
And provided you with
no complaints.
a really good kind of a rhythm
Yep.
to your own life.
Yeah. Yep. And that's pretty much it. And then, I'll touch whatever you come up with. I'll touch on what you got to say, and then we'll just mend it all together and make this called the Mother's Day episode of Foster and Feinstein.
Well, again, it's really.
Love you, Mom.
In this case, it's great. Our differences are really terrific because it's the chronology that's so different. My mother died when she was 92, okay, and I was 58.
Damn, you were 58?
Fuck off. And it was right when I was going to be moving here. But I'll go back real quick because I wrote about it and I've written about it before. And my mother's story is really one of my favorites. And how's the shirt, sir? It's okay.
It
feels good.
You can turn the AC off, huh?
I don't know.
Okay. I'll worry about it after.
Yeah. After. So when I was 9, my father died.
Oh shit. That's
Yeah, that would sucked. And and this was 1954. Okay, when this occurred, and back then there really wasn't any kind of a precedent for like single mothers. Now it's like, unfortunately, now it's like all too common. So she really had to make it up, and what she got, that the house that we were living in was paid off. That was the life insurance policy paid the mortgage.
Okay.
So she had the house, and no money, but like no money, and 2 boys, my older brother 12 and myself 9, and then she had to go out and find a job.
Okay.
Arrange for us to be taken care of.
Wow.
Stuff that, again, she wasn't like she was a trailblazer, but you couldn't look around and say, oh, yeah, no, you do this and this and that. So she really had to kind of make it up as she went along. She got a job as a bookkeeper because that's what she was years before. And she got a job as a bookkeeper at the neighborhood Jewish center.
It's like an accountant, right?
Yeah. Which wasn't far from the house, but a little bit of a walk. I think she had to take a bus. My brother and I, we weren't like latchkey, which there's a lot of that now. So our, it's the terminology that was used. Our maid.
Okay.
All right. Her name is Mary. She was beyond. She was like our daytime mother.
Okay.
And if we were sick, she would come early, make sure we were taken care of, and all of that. Just a wonderful, wonderful lady. Anyway, but it was interesting growing up with just a mother, and for a little child, you don't have to be really good at math to understand that. Oh, wait a minute, that I got one left.
Right.
Anything happens to that one, what the fuck?
Right.
All right, I'm like, where are you? And I remember, interesting, because the night that my father died, I remember really well.
What did he die from?
Heart attack.
Heart attack.
And back then, and he was 54. They got married relatively late for that time. And my mother was in her early 30s, and had children at like 33, 34.
Jim's here.
Oh no, really?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Which threw off my what was I saying?
You were saying, as far as you looking at your parents and understanding that there's only one left.
So the dream I had, which was really kind of interesting, I felt like I was like floating in space.
Okay.
That night, the phone call came from the hospital, and she screamed because they said he had died. And I just had this feeling of just being kind of like, floating in space all by myself. And a feeling that kind of stayed with me. So as I, was growing up and going through teens and being somewhat rebellious, I always worried about my mother. I didn't like to hurt her feelings, get her mad,
okay.
Or anything of that sort.
Fuck, I was opposite. I was as beautiful and angelic as my mom was. I was a piece of shit, but I'm listening.
Well, again, it also could come from a place of security.
Right.
You know what I mean, on your part?
Right.
Mine, there was this
Take it for granted.
There was this piece of really insecurity that I carried with me. Anyway, she was just a real warrior, and and again, my history with her is, so much longer than yours with your mom, and you'll have your own, that evolution that comes with time.
Right.
But I got married, and she was so happy. I got divorced. She was not happy, and would have been very happy if honestly, and God bless her, she would have been very happy if I stayed in an unhappy marriage, because
That's those times. Though.
yeah. And there were so many people from her era, in the 40s and 50s and stuff. You stayed together, and it still goes on.
My grandmother was like that.
Right? You stayed in unhappy marriages for the children, right? And you were just miserable.
Right.
So I had some splaining to do about why I wanted to do it, and no matter what, no matter how much she may have objected to anything that I was doing, in the end, she always supported my choice,
Nice.
which was, pretty amazing. So much so that divorce was even, back then, very expensive. And I found a divorce attorney who was a very short, well-dressed guy, and they're very good because they're doing the Napoleonic shit. They're compensating like crazy.
Right.
They're just angry because everybody's bigger.
Okay.
So he wanted an upfront fee. I didn't have. So she gave me the money for the divorce, and she was just great. Loved my children. I would bring them on my weekend time, which really felt kind of obligatory, and I didn't really like it. Having to do that, and screw up my time with my boys. But she just loved them, and they developed their own relationship with her. Anyhow, then when I told her that I was leaving New York and going to Santa Fe, and that was in 1987, I was like
206.
Yeah. 1987. Don't tell me, I'll do the math from 45 to 87, 33. Like 42, 40. Then I was going to Santa Fe, and she was really distraught. But again, it was like, oh, if that's what you need to do, then supportive. I'd come in and visit, blah 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 blah. And then when I told her I was moving to Kauai like 15 years after adjusting to Santa Fe, and in Santa Fe she'd call me every Friday. In the afternoon, my mother would call, like clockwork. Hi,
Okay.
just want to say hello. How's everything?
That's awesome.
Right? How are the boys?
Right. Hey, Jay.
I talked to your brother. He says hello.
Okay.
It was again. Oh yeah, it's my mother. But it was funny. In a way, the older I got, the more I appreciated her.
Okay.
And then when I told her I was going to Kauai, that was a tough one.
That's so far away.
Yeah, that was like really, and what happened, and it's something I've written about quite a bit. I left Santa Fe, drove to L.A. in the middle of the night, put my car down at the harbor, and went and stayed in a really cheap-ass hotel in downtown L.A. I got a call that night from my brother telling me that our mother had a massive stroke,
Oh wow.
right? And that he was leaving Chapel Hill, where he lived, North Carolina, to go up to New York to the hospital where she was. And I had given up my place in New Mexico. I had no home there. Really wasn't even in Kauai.
Established, yeah.
I had no place, man. And it was back to that feeling that I had as a little kid of like floating in space.
Wow.
I was really panicking. I tried to open the window, in the whole, it fucking wouldn't open,
Wow.
I felt like I was suffocating. And really had the feeling that if I didn't go to Santa Fe and just touch the ground, I'd have a real problem going straight, from LA to, to be with my mother. I needed that grounding before I could, enter that. So I did. And I was like a zombie for 2 or 3 days here. Then I went to New York, and she was in the hospital. Her arms were strapped down because she kept trying to pull the tube out.
Wow.
It was really very, very difficult to see. And again, massive stroke. And if there was no visible...
How old was she when it happened?
92.
92.
Right. No visible sign of improvement. It's like, listen, you know, you got some choices to make. This was, you know, the doctor. And she had left, you know, instructions, you know, a living will. And very clear. She was a fiercely independent lady who lived alone, even, you know, up to that point.
She never remarried?
No.
Wow, okay.
She like, no. I used to tell her to date and stuff. When I was like very young. Gee, why don't you... It wasn't like pimping her. I want you to go out and enjoy yourself and everything. She never got over the loss of her husband, all that time. And so anyhow, almost done with the story. So my brother and I, you know, had to make the decision on her behalf, and we took her home, to her home, from the hospital, and engaged hospice. Right, because it was her, it was time, and I knew her really well, and she was a proud, independent lady. There's no way in the world this woman wanted to be on a ventilator.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like a vegetable.
Right.
For whose fucking benefit?
Right.
Very difficult. And it took, I don't know, a little over a week. We would sit with her all the time. And one occasion, she did something like this. And I figured, oh, she probably wanted some ice. Because that's it. I mean, once you're in that, you get into that hospice situation, you're not eating. It just, you're made comfortable. And you don't even give water. You just moisten the lips. So I thought, you know, and no, she wanted a kiss, which was touching is an understatement. And then, you know, always holding her hand. And one time, you know, holding her hand, she just did like this, just like that, very, very gently, which is like, it's going to be okay. I remember, I know at least once, you know, saying to her, this is what you want, and you know, and it was. She was, you know, ready to go.
Wow.
And there was something about it that has stayed with me. It's 18 years now because I've been here, you know, 18 years, and there was just something so regal about it. With such grace.
Sounds like
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was so. It stayed with me, and and it's funny. I've gotten closer to her in her absence. As I get older, you know, and start getting into her kind of range, I have a much better. A much better understanding, and so I'm a huge fan of my mother.
Wow. Sounds like a strong lady.
Yeah. That's, you know, kind of my story, my mother's story.
Okay.
But they're I wouldn't call them our stories bookends.
No, this is a piece of the piece
You
of
know,
the pie.
but at different times, we're at different, you know, places in our lives,
100%.
and certainly, it goes without saying, so are our mothers.
Right, exactly.
You know, so-
I'm excited. Appreciate you for sharing that. That's heavy, and that's not even heavy in a bad way. It's heavy in a sense of like me trying to put myself in that position and be as strong as the whole family, you, your brother, and your mother in that situation, because a lot of people don't deal with death in that way. They're fearful. They're, you know, or resistant to be in that situation. Like, I can't go in there. I just can't.
It very often it becomes a mess, what ends up happening a lot is that person is kept alive.
Yeah.
Not for their benefit.
Yeah. For
Okay.
sentimental
But
reasons.
but for the benefit of the survivors, the siblings, and so forth. You know, partially because the whole idea of dealing with death is just a very difficult thing for really all of us.
Yeah.
And
If you're not mentally prepared for it.
yeah, so it also helps you witnessing it in the way that I did.
I'm excited. I'm excited to show my son this video when he's about 10, 11 years old, and so he can get the perspective of how like you were with your mom and felt about your mom and like the things that you experienced with your mom, just a little piece, and then me and my mom. That he's gonna have his home perspective of his mom, which is my new fiance. I gave her the ring today.
You did not?
Yeah.
Oh man! Hey!
On Mother's Day. That way, that
No
way.
shit!
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, that's great.
So, yeah, I'm probably not gonna get married anytime soon. Probably like another year or 2 years or something like that. But I wanted to make it today, make her day special. You know,
Oh
wake
yes!
up with a ring. And,
Perfect.
Yeah, and so.
Which now, by the way, it really gives an added, meaning to to
Yeah,
Mother's Day for the
exactly.
two of you.
Exactly.
Oh, sweet.
Exactly.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that and for our future and for what's to come after. And it's her first time being a mom. It's her first time being a wife. It's gonna be her first time being a wife. It's gonna be a lot of firsts, and planning on traveling with him and her and letting them see the world, and we do different things on different experiences. And then hopefully every Mother's Day we can do something that's so different than the last year, and different than the last year, and different than the
Well, by the way, it will be because it will be.
Yeah, facts. Facts. That's 100% sure. But you know how people like tradition. They want to go to the same restaurant that
Oh,
they
yeah.
met in, and like, no, I want to do something like to go to the top of Mount Everest on one of the Mother's Days or some shit. You know?
All right.
Yeah, that's a little.
Yeah.
I'm an extremist, man. You know?
Yeah, no, I know. Maybe just like the foothills of Everest.
Okay.
You know.
But I mean, by then they're gonna have like drone hoverboard, man-made, just go straight up.
I don't want to think about what Everest is going to look like by then because I've seen what it looks like now.
Oh, is it melting?
No, not only the melting. I remember this photograph, and it was like a line of hundreds of people waiting to ascend.
Oh hell no.
But no, it was really a long line. I don't know if I used it in a blog or something. It was like, oh man,
Right.
and the garbage and all that. But that where this is meant to be a celebratory kind of a vibe.
Thanks.
The only thing we never ever outgrow our mothers or their influence.
Right.
Even if we try, it's a losing process.
Yeah.
And actually,
you would lie to say that you have.
yeah, and actually, the more you try, the bigger the hole, the bigger the deeper the hole you dig.
Facts.
So it's just like, no, man.
Go with the flow, baby. Be like water, Bruce Lee said.
What did he say?
Be like water.
Oh, right. Be like, yeah. Well,
Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day again to everybody. Anything else you got about moms? That's it. We can wrap this thing.
Yeah,
up.
we should know. I think we could wrap it up. And no, I just think, I think mothers are extraordinary.
Yes.
And it's because I think women are.
Yes, I agree.
So.
I pound that.
Oh, and I can't believe you got engaged today.
Yeah.
Damn, that's cool.
So if this, for all you guys, thank you, appreciate you for watching all the way Foster and Feinstein through this whole video. Give us a subscribe if you haven't already. Give us a like, thumbs up. That helps us with the algorithms. And make sure you share this with as many friends as you got. And until next week,
We be done.
we be done.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Peace and love. God bless.